If you like flying mini drones or the very popular UMX-sized RC airplanes, the EVPeak E6 charger may be just the tool you've been looking for. I have a couple of UMX-sized RC airplanes I enjoy flying. One drawback to flying this size plane is that the chargers that come with the kits are usually USB chargers. That means you're charging one battery at a time, and unless you've got AC power at your flying site, you're stuck bringing charged batteries with you, and when you're done, well, you're done. Enter the E6 charger. This charger can charge up to 4 of the single-cell LiPo batteries at once, and you can use either AC power or 9 to 12 volt DC power to run the charger. That means you can use a 3-cell LiPo to power the charger and put additional charges on your UMX-sized battery. The charger has connectors for 4 different types of battery connectors. That means it's likely that whatever type battery your small air vehicle needs, the battery will work with this charger. It also allows charging high voltage LiPo batteries designed for a bit higher voltage. The LED screen and control buttons allow you to select the channel you're using and adjust the charge current from 1/10 of an amp up to 1 amp, in addition to starting and stopping the charge cycle. Let's take a closer look. Okay, so here's the E6 charger as it comes in the mail. It's not a very big device, but this is the outside retail packaging. Let's take a look and see what we have inside. Okay, on top is the instructions for the E6 charger. It has everything labeled, specifications, and then inside it describes how to use the various controls, so that's handy. Here is the charger itself. It's got a little, the little plastic screen over the top of the screen. We'll pull that off so it doesn't reflect on you. So here are the buttons. You can use the channel button to cycle through the channels that you're using up here. Use the plus and the minus button to make adjustments to the amperage that you're using. Now this is a 1-cell battery, so the amperages range from 0.1 to 1 amp. And then you can start and stop it right here. Here there's a switch you can move. It's recessed, so you'd have to go after it with the tip of a pen or a screwdriver and change it from LiPo or to the high voltage LiPo that you may have if you're flying with some small drone batteries. And then you've got the 4 different connectors up here that make this really handy. So regardless of the kind of batteries that you're using on your device, it's likely that it's going to have one of these 4 connectors. So there's a BEC, a Molex, an MCPX, and an MCX style batteries connectors. And so you just take your battery and just drop it in, plug it in, and then start it using the controls down here. The other thing that's really handy, of course, and what I've already mentioned to you, is that there are 4 of them so that you can charge several batteries at the same time. So as we work around the battery charge, you can see a vent for cooling there. We have the AC input over here, more cooling vents over here, and then you have a 9 to 12 pin for a DC input over here. There's also an AC cord here if you're using AC at home, or if your field might happen to have AC power at it. And then the last thing we're going to look at here is the DC input. So if you have a DC input, you can clip using the alligator clips to your power supply or to your battery, and then this plug is wired for it, so you don't have to worry about that polarity. And so the plug here is pretty handy to have. We're back at the instructions again, because I wanted to point out that the DC voltage input is listed as 9 volts to 12 volts, and some of the reviews have said that if you go much above 12 volts, it's going to get an error. So be mindful of that. And so you know what the voltage is that you're using with that little alligator clip. One way to deal with that might be to use a 3-cell LiPo style battery, in which case you'd be coming in at just a hair over 12 volts if it was fully charged. So that's the basics of this. We'll plug it in and get it working. We'll show you what it looks like. So here I have the E6 charger plugged in. As you can see, I'm using AC power, and I have several of my small 1-cell batteries here. The short ones are 160 milliamp hour batteries. These longer ones are 200 milliamp hour batteries. So they're small and they're 1 cell. And then you can see down here in the display, when I plug them in, the voltage that each of them registered is displayed. Now, the battery on number 4 shows 4.14 volts. So that must have been one that I had charged and left. So when I pull it out here, you'll see this goes back to 0. And so now it's back to 0. Now to charge these, I'm going to just use the channel button to cycle through, and I'm going to make sure that I've got my buttons on LiPo because these are not high voltage LiPos. And so channel number 2 lights up and it's going to charge at 0.1 amps. It's 1.6, so I'm going to bring it up a little bit. I'm going to bring it up to 0.2, and that's fine for a 160 milliamp hour battery. And so I'm going to start it. And so now I've pushed a long press on it, about 3 to 4 seconds, and it's charging. I'm going to move over to number 3, which is this one over here, and I'm going to change that up also to 0.2 amps, and I'm going to hold that. You can hear the beep as it comes on, and then I'm going to go up here to number 1, and I'm going to increase that to 0.2, and I'm going to press and hold that. And now that is going to start charging as well. So we've got them all lit up and we should be charging now. They show their voltage. They're starting to climb, and then the display alternates between the amperage that is set and the voltage that is in each of those batteries. So now it's just a matter of keeping an eye on it for safety purposes, even with these small LiPo batteries, and letting them finish the charge cycle. Okay, so here we are. The charge cycle has completed. Each of the channels show full. As the charge went on, the voltages went up, showing the voltage of the battery, and the amperage, when it got to 4.2, started to back down until it showed a complete charge, and then a little buzzer went off, and the full display came on, and the lights turned to green. So that's what it all looks like, and that's how it all works. As you've seen, the E6 charger could be just the charger you've been looking for when taking your fleet of mini drones or UMX-sized aircraft out to the flying field. For me, the big advantage is being able to charge 4 batteries at the same time. That cuts my pre-departure charging time down from about 7 to 8 hours to about 2. Be mindful that 12-volt power supplies usually output at 13.8 volts, and that fully charged lead-acid batteries also output over 12 volts. Using a 3-cell LiPo battery or AC power is probably your best bet when powering the charger while staying within the 9 to 12 volt published DC limit. Hey, if you found this video helpful, please click on the thumbs up button below the video and subscribe to the RC Planeviews channel. Likes and subscriptions are important for small YouTube channels, so I really appreciate it. Click the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching.